إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله بعد. This is a small commentary on the news that we just received sadly today, which is the death of Hassan NasrAllah, who is the leader of the resistance fighters group called Hizbullah in Lebanon. First thing that we need to explain is who the Shia are. According to Abdullah ibn Mubarak, rahimahullah, said that the 72 deviant sects in Islam, because there are 73 sects in Islam, one is the Firqa Najiyah, the saved sect, that the Prophet ﷺ said in one hadith, Jama'ah, and after that in another hadith says, Ma ana alayhi wa ashabi, although this second hadith has some weakness to it, but the hadith of al-Jama'ah explains that Jama'ah means the companions and the Prophet ﷺ, because they were the first Jama'ah. So the sect that's on what the Prophet ﷺ was and the companions is the saved sect. The other 72 sects are deviant sects. Some deviance will cause them to be in hellfire forever and ever if they commit polytheism or disbelief, and some deviance is up to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to either forgive it or punish it according to Allah's will. Hum ila al-Mashi'a. So the Shia is one of four major sects in Islam. So they are Muslims. This is the first thing we need to show. They are Muslims. I am saying this because many Saudi scholars, because they dance to the tune of the American narrative, they say that the Shia are disbelievers, and yet they let them come and make Hajj. So either they are wrong by saying that the Shia are disbelievers, or they are wrong by letting disbelievers make Hajj. But then again, we go to what the major scholars of old, who were not tainted by the Western hegemony and Western political influence on these so-called scholars. The earlier scholars, as we heard, Abdullah Mubarak rahimahullah said that the Shia is one of the Muslims. Sheikh Al-Albani rahimahullah and Sheikh Al-Haydan, Allah have mercy on him, one of the contemporary scholars that died not too long ago, did state that when war breaks between disbelievers and believers, all sects among the Muslims need to join forces, put differences aside. This is the correct opinion. Not only that, but according to Sheikh Al-Haydan, may Allah have mercy on him, he was one of the major Allah-fearing scholars in Saudi Arabia, and that's how we نحسبه كذلك والله حسيبه. That's how we think of him, and Allah knows best what his internal feelings are. Said that not only that, but Muslims can join forces with the Jews and Christians that are living under the protection of the Muslims in the Muslim land to push away the invading, disbelieving, and other disbelieving country. So when it comes to the Shia, they are also deviant sect of Islam. They are Muslims. As Shaykh Al-Albani said, say whatever you want about them, about their deviance, about the bad things they do, but they still remain Muslims. As long as they are Muslims, then jihad is waged alongside with them against the disbelievers. So this is one point. So therefore, what the Shia are doing, and actually you can browse in YouTube, so you can be informed about many documentaries that were made about the people that were waging jihad against the Jews in Lebanon and who the Jews have killed. And you hear how they're talking, hear how their mothers are talking. There is no difference between them and the Sunnis when it comes to this point. Their deviance is not in everything. They deviated in certain things. I'm not a Shia, I'm not condoning the Shia. I'm still saying that they're a deviant group. But when it comes to the truth, we have to say it out loud, because in the current political climate, many people are too afraid to tell the truth, or people are trying to appease the powers to be. So therefore, these Shia today are the ones who are waging jihad. The Sunnis, unfortunately, they are waging dances to the tune of the Masonic singers that come to Saudi Arabia, Emirates, Morocco, and other countries. And these countries, they spend millions of dollars to pay for these Masonic singers who are coming to misguide their own population, because as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, that the hypocrites are the real enemy, because the hypocrites are disbelievers at heart, even though they claim they are Muslims. And what the hypocrites do to the Muslims is worse than what the disbelievers do to the Muslims. So the Sunnis stopped fighting for the sake of Allah, except the small band in Palestine who are waging jihad, who ask Allah subhanahu to give them victory, except for a small band in Somalia, except for a small band in Afghanistan and other places that I may not know about, but Allah knows who these mujahideen are. These are the only small pockets of mujahideen among the Sunnis, while the rest of the Sunnis, they have sold their souls to the devil. They have sold their religion with a miserable price of dunya. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as He subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran in two places, وَإِن تَتَوَلَّوْا يَسْتَبْدِلْ قَوْمًا غَيْرَكُمْ. If you turn you back on this religion, Allah will replace you with other people. So this religion will always have someone fighting for it. The truth will always have someone fighting for it, because the truth is with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if you choose to turn you back on this religion, you choose to turn you back on jihad, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to replace you. And the Sunnis today have been replaced by the Shia. They are the ones who are waging jihad. We see the Houthis, mashallah, they are achieving things that no other country have achieved. I mean, they're targeting American destroyers. They actually caused the port of Eilat in occupied Palestine, that they call Israel, they caused that port to go bankrupt. So they are waging jihad, and they are being supported by their brethren in Syria and in Iraq. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for us to also see a stern response from Iran for the killing of Ismail Haniyeh, may Allah have mercy on him. And as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَلَا تَحسبن الذين قتلوا في سبيل الله أمواتا بل أحياء عند ربهم يرزقون. Don't think that those that were killed for the sake of Allah are actually dead. No, they are alive with their Lord, being given provision. They are happy for the achievement they did. This is the best achievement a person could do with his life. I mean, think about it. What's the best thing you can do with your life? It's attain martyrdom. This is why the martyr, when he sees the honor that Allah gives him in Jannah, he says, "Oh Allah, I wish for you to give me my life again so that I can be martyred again for your sake." This is why we are here. We are here in this world to earn points for the hereafter. And this shahada, martyrdom, is a sure ticket to enter Jannah, as the Prophet ﷺ said, in the highest places in paradise. So, and also for these mujahideen like Ismail Haniyeh, like Sinwar, like NasrAllah, and others who attain shahada, this is actually a mercy from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because they have been waging war, living in fear, not living a normal life for many years. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala takes their soul, chooses them. وَيَتَّخِذَ مِنْكُمْ شُهَدَاءَ. Allah chooses these martyrs as a mercy from Him, because I'm sure that they are tired after so many years of waging jihad. But guess what? If one attains martyrdom, there are millions who are waiting. It's a war whose commander is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We can never lose. We can never lose. It's a war whose commander is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You know, these followers of shaitan, be them disbelievers, the hypocrites, if they only had any brains, if they had any sense of logic, they would stop this nonsense. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is pulling them towards their destruction. Istidraj. وَأُمْلِي لَهُمْ سَنَسْتَدْرِجُهُمْ مِنْ حَيْثُ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ. Allah gives them respite, these disbelievers, because Allah is pulling them towards their destruction. So ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive Hassan NasrAllah his sins. If he did not commit disbelief or polytheism, I don't know him personally, I don't know much about him, but this is a condition. If he did not commit polytheism or disbelief, that means he's a Muslim. Then we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive all of his sins through this martyrdom, as the Prophet ﷺ promised that with the first drop of blood that comes out from the mujahid, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgives all of his previous sins, and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to replace him with other mujahideen. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to destroy the Jews and the hypocrites and the disbelievers who are helping them. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to purify the blessed land of Palestine from the river to the river, from the filth of the Jews, and to bring back to the Khilafah, as He ﷺ promised, with Jerusalem being its capital. And Jazakumullahu khairan, brothers, for your patience.